I love PlayStation. I've had my PlayStation Network account since 2008 with the PS3, and I've always just loved PlayStation. They've had really good first party titles, especially the PS3 era. I remember the first time that I bought Resistance. That was my first game for the PS3, and I just absolutely loved that game. And then Killzone 2 was probably my second favorite um, first person shooter. And then my friend got me addicted to Battlefield, Bad Company, and oh man, I just fell in love with that game. And then Bad Company 2 came out. God, I love those years. Those are great years. But last weekend, I tried going on my account, and I've noticed that the PlayStation wasn't working. So I went online to see, and I noticed that people were saying that I saw videos of on YouTube of people complaining that their network was down also, and that the PlayStation was out for what 20 hours or something like that. They're not really saying much. They're not being very transparent with their customers, which it concerns me because they're trying. Are you trying to hide something? Like, what was the reason? I remember back in April of 2011. I remember the PlayStation Network going down for 23 days. I remember speculation back in the day because they weren't being very transparent back then either. And nobody knew what was going on until they finally came out and said that their PlayStation Network got hacked, and that there was a lot of users who were worried about having their account stolen from them, or their identity or their accounts with other credit cards were on. And it's concerning. Like, is this going to happen again in next few months? Will it happen again to where you hear people's accounts and their credit cards being compromised? I don't know. Or it could be nothing. It could be nothing. I remember it happened again in December 2014. It was a DDoS attack, but still very close to where you consistently have been getting these issues with these hackers and DDoS attacks. And is that what's happening again? Is it another hacker trying to get into their system? Do we have to worry about our accounts being stolen or our credit cards? I don't know. But I just wanted to start off with just saying that I do love PlayStation, but this generation has not been that great. I love my PS5. I can't afford a PC right now, but I love the easiness of, just being able to put in a game and it plays. I always loved that for the consoles. I know that, there was this huge talk between the PC master race and these Sony ponies, everyone calls them. I'm not any of that. I'm not for any company, because I know deep down inside they're not for me. Yes, I love the brand, but you're still a company that wants to make money, which I'm fine with. But I feel like Sony needs to start being more transparent with the customer. Because did something get stolen? Was it something small? What happened? What was it? And the thing they're giving us is free 5 days of PlayStation Network. So I paid yearly for my PlayStation Network account. So how do I get those 5 days? Are you going to give me 5 days free when my yearly subscription is up? I mean, how is that going to work? Honestly. So I don't get why they're not being that transparent, but it's a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't really overall care about their customers, and that's why I love PlayStation, but I won't back them up when I feel like they're doing something that's not consumer friendly. I think that this generation has not been that good. As I said earlier, there hasn't been that many exclusives. There's been some really good games, but if you think about it, from this generation, the PS5 to the PS4 in the last generation, there was so many bangers in the last generation. And it's like, production is slowed down with how quickly games get out, because these graphics are being so demanding with what they're trying to accomplish with the technology. But I would be happy with just, if I can just give me 1080 60 frames. I don't need the most best I don't even care about ray tracing, to be honest with you. Who cares? Like, it doesn't make my game experience that much better because there's ray tracing. I'd rather have developers work on, just give me a smooth 1080 60 frames and I'm happy. Like, that's all I need. I think 1080 looks fine at 60 frames. I don't need 4K native. Just give me a PlayStation game that runs well. PlayStation needs to be more transparent with their consumers. Like, I don't want to have to worry about my account or my credit card being compromised because they can't seem to get their network security right. And I know a lot of companies have this problem with it's happened to other companies. I know Xbox had this problem before, but it just doesn't seem to be as consistent as it is with PlayStation, and that concerns me. Like, I just really hope that in the future there's not going to be, this doesn't happen again. I mean, it was only 24 hours this time, but like I said, in 2011 it was down for 23 days. Nobody can go online. But to just give 5 free days of PlayStation Network when I pay yearly, that doesn't mean nothing to me, honestly. And I'm not asking for something for free, but if you're willing to give it, you should give something of a little more value, I guess, because the fact that we don't know if accounts have been compromised. Nobody knows. I know that recently that PlayStation has fired employees. Is it because a disgruntled employee who got fired? I mean, and there's something is there some kind of off switch they did? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's true. It's just the fact that this is becoming a pattern with PlayStation. And between that and just, haven't been happy with this generation on PlayStation. The games aren't coming out, that many of them. It's almost like having a PlayStation 4, like, there's nothing that wants me to be able to look forward to PlayStation 6, because it seems like PlayStation feels stagnant to me. And I'm almost thinking about going PC because I feel like there's a lot more options on there. I'm tired of having to pay for online all the time, and as expensive as it is. I've been a loyal customer for years, decades, at this point. And I just feel like PlayStation has not been the same PlayStation of old. And I feel like it's just something that I'm not happy with looking forward to the next generation. If we can't even get the standard of 60 frames on console, it's like, then I'll just afford to do a PC and spend a little more money. I'll spend $1,200, $1,500, fine. If the consumer, myself, can get more for their money. I feel like you can get a lot of deals on Steam and stuff, and I really like a lot of the PC games that are coming out that are for PC. I just hope that PlayStation starts looking at what made them PlayStation in the first place, and that wasn't live service games like Concord or fair games. Like, you don't need, I know they've canceled a lot of live service games, but you don't need 12 different live services. You were good with single player games that people loved. And I just feel like that all they want is to find the next Fortnite, the next billion-dollar franchise, which is not easy to do with live service. All they want from PlayStation, to be able to stay a PlayStation consumer and a PlayStation, and keep my PlayStation up, is the fact that go back to what you used to be. Make great games, bug-free for the most part, at a decent price, and people will love the PlayStation brand. And now with all the PlayStation games going to PC anyway, it's like, why not just get a PC? I think I'll be happier. I'll be able to do more things with a PC than just play games on a PlayStation that's going to cost me, what, $170 a year just to... That's for the premium PlayStation account. But I'm sick of paying for online, because what am I really getting from it? A couple crappy monthly games that I don't even really like, because they haven't been that good lately. I remember on the PS4, the monthly games, I remember getting Uncharted 4, Uncharted the Legacy Edition, BioShock. I got the trilogy on that for the free monthly games. And lately, it's just been... the last year for me is I haven't seen that many great games coming on the monthly service for the free games. And the games that you get on the service alone, the PlayStation Plus itself, there's a few good games that I've downloaded, but I probably only played 2 or 3 of these games overall that look interesting to me. So I feel like there's just more opportunity on PC. And I really hope before the PS6 comes out that we can get back to what PlayStation was good with. Why I fell in love with PlayStation in the first place. Why, when I first got that PS3 and was going online, and those days were just great. Like, there was always great games to play. And now you'll be lucky, what, to get a great game once every 3-4 years. And the first almost 3 years, I couldn't even get a PS5 because of the shortage. And now it seems like, wow, now we're finally getting into the actual generation where they're going to stop putting them on PS4 games. And I feel like, oh, it's already time to go for the PS6. So I don't know. I just kind of went on a rant and a ramble about PlayStation. But I do love this company. I don't want people to get me wrong. I love the company. I just don't love where they're going right now and how I feel as a consumer with this company overall. And this outage was just, it was almost like opening something up that I've been thinking about anyway, and just had to talk about it, because honestly, this doesn't feel like the same PlayStation. I really hope you get back to the days of old. And that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching.